Right. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about order to delivery cycle or merchant from merchant's point of view. So, from merchant point of view, how he will receive the order and how he will deliver the order and how he can receive the cash. So, all these transactions we'll discuss here. So, the two more important factors that various organizations must keep in mind that order to delivery of the product are they have to maintain the quality and cost of the product. So these two has to be considered from merchant's point of view. They have to look at these 2 points. So every organization must make sure that the product they produce are of good quality and maintain the quality for a longer period of time. Another point is that organizations must consider to ensure the cost of the product is reasonable. So once the product cost is reasonable, then only maximum of the people will ready to purchase your product. If it is not that much worthy, then people will go for some other stuff. So there are 8 different steps. First one is order planning and order generation, cost estimation, order receipt and entry, order selection and prioritization, order scheduling, order fulfillment and delivery, order billing and payment management, post sale service. So these are the things which to be considered, or these are the step by step procedures in this mercantile cycle from merchant's point of view. First is order planning and order generation. So this is the first step of order management cycle. In this, a plan regarding the requirements for a particular order is made. This requires a proper coordination between the particular departments of a company for completing the order of the customers. For example, the concerned department must discuss together the workers required to complete the order, cost of the completing the order, etc. If there is no proper coordination between the departments, and the end result will not be as expected. With proper planning of order can be properly generated. So for example, if you take real estate markets, okay, so whoever are the real estate dealers, they'll inform to their telecallers about all the places and all the plot details and the prices and each and every point which is related to that particular plot to the customer care officers, customer care employees. So those customer care employees will interact with the customers or the clients who are willing to purchase or who are willing to sell their places. So between this communication and the management and these telecallers must have a proper information, they must have a proper coordination so that orders will be generated. Okay, if you are thinking to purchase a plot, so at that same time you got a call which is regarding to plot purchases and all, plot sales and all. So you have an interest to purchase that plot. At the same time, that customer care person has to convince you to purchase that particular plot. Okay, so that person must have that ability to make you purchase for that plot. So these are the things how the orders will be generated. So we have to market ourselves, then only orders will get generated. So to advertise yourself, you must go with a proper planning, and you must have a coordination between the higher management to the lower management and the marketing people and all. Everyone must have a proper coordination and a proper planning. So if you have a proper planning, then only we can go with order generations. Next, cost estimation and pricing. This is the second in order to management cycle. Now after a company has completed the order given by the customer, it must now how to fix the price for that order. Pricing acts as a link between the requirements of the customer it must know how to fix the price that order. Customer for an order and ability of the company to complete this order. For example, they will say some amount, and the client or the customer he's thinking about some other amount. So you must coordinate between the customers and the clients, and you have to fix one price. So how to fix that price, and the entire cost estimations and pricing of that particular product will be estimated in this particular stage. First of all, you have to generate that order, and second one is cost and pricing of that particular order. Third one, order receipt and entry. You have to receive that order, that is called order receipt. This is the third step of the order management, checking whether that order is received properly or not by the customer, whether the entry of the order is done correctly or not. All these tasks are handled by the separate department. For example, if you have booked any item through Amazon or Flipkart, so complete order details are verified by the seller, and once all the things are right, once the entire information has been provided, then they will start next process, order processing. So once they have to receive that complete order receipt, and they have to enter the transactions. Okay. Next, order selection and prioritization. So for example, if you have received multiple orders, based on that you have to select the order which you have to deliver prior, and based on that you have to prioritize the orders. So some orders must be delivered as early as possible, but some orders they may take some time. So based on that you have to check which order you have to deliver as early as possible, and some orders you may take some time. So this is the fourth step of the order management cycle. Other than handling order receipt and entry task, customer service department also decides which orders are good or bad for the company. Selection of these orders are made from which the company can profit. ఏ ఆర్డర్ మన కంపెనీకి ప్రాఫిట్స్ తీసుకొస్తాయి, ఏ ఆర్డర్ ఈజ్ మంచిగా ఉంది, దీని యొక్క బిల్లింగ్ ప్రైస్ మంచిగా ఉంది, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ దే హ్యావ్ టు సెపరేట్. After order selection, next step is order prioritization. Prioritizing an order is nothing but taking a decision on which order can be carried out more quickly. Unfortunately, these decisions are taken by those people of the company which are having absolutely no knowledge of prioritizing that order. So if this is eliminated, or this concept is changed, then you will get good profits. Okay. So who are having knowledge of priorities, they must go with this order prioritization. Order scheduling. This is the fifth step of the order management cycle. In this, orders which are prioritized are placed in different company departments. As a result, scheduling the order will be more difficult, because every department will be having its own way of scheduling the orders. Order scheduling. Okay. This is the fifth step. In this step, orders which are prioritized are placed in different company departments. As a result, scheduling the orders will be more difficult, because every department will have its own way of scheduling an orders. Next, order fulfillment and delivery. This is the sixth step. Here, order fulfillment and delivery process is carried out from more than one place of the company. For example, separate places are required for creation of orders, manufacturing of orders, storage of orders, etc., etc., etc. Whatever the item we have requested, that item is available at different places. So which is nearer to you, from that place that order will be delivered to you. Order billing and amount payment management. So in this, this is the seventh step. Order billing and account payment management. This is handled by finance department, and the only functionality of this department is just to deliver the bills to the customer and receive the payment from the customer. This department beneficial only for the company and not for the customers. ఇది కంపల్సరీగా పక్కగా కంపెనీ బెనిఫిట్స్ గురించి ఆలోచిస్తుంది తప్ప కస్టమర్ బెనిఫిట్స్ గురించి ఇట్ వోంట్ థింక్ అబౌట్. This is because most of the customers are not satisfied with the billing system. సో బిల్లింగ్ సిస్టమ్ వాళ్ళు కంపల్సరీ కంపెనీకి ప్రాఫిట్ రావాలని ఆలోచిస్తారు తప్ప కస్టమర్స్కి ప్రాఫిట్ రావాలని ఎప్పుడు ఆలోచించరు. అందుకే వాళ్ళని ఎక్కువగా మనం తిడుతూ ఉంటాం. Next, post sale service. So after selling the product, we have to give services. So providing training to the customers, installation, product and all the things. సో మన సేల్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత కూడా మనం చేసే వాటిని ఏమంటారు అంటే పోస్ట్ సేల్ సర్వీసెస్ వాట్ ఎవర్ వీ ప్రొవైడ్ టు ద కస్టమర్స్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద 8 బేసిక్ స్టెప్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ cycle from mercantile's point of view. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to generate the orders, order planning and order generation, then we have to estimate the cost, then order receipt and entry, order selection and prioritization, order scheduling, fulfillment of the order, billing and point of sale. Ivi basic main important steps. So this is the flow how it will occur, so how it will be handled. Explain about electronic payment system, EPS. Already we have discussed it. Here we have electronic payment system. So whatever we have, e-cash, e-check, credit cards, all are comes under this electronic payment system, EPS. Nowadays even this Flipkart or Amazon people are carrying this missions. Okay, so there if you swipe your card, so you can go with a card payment or whatever the payments you want to go with, you can go with. Electronic payment system is building block of e-commerce, which refers to the online exchange of money. This exchange is carried out over different platforms such as e-cash, e-check, credit card, etc. The widespread adoption of these methods is due to the fact is reduced cost and time of transactions. So మనం ఇప్పుడు మనం షాప్కి వెళ్ళి పేమెంట్ చేసి రావాలంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ వేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ అండ్ వేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్. సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ యూ కెన్ పే దట్ బిల్ by staying at home through online, then that is very good. Advantages: it is a globally accepted system which is having enhanced security features. For example, if you have logged into that any online account with along with your credentials like credit card number or debit card number and ATM pin and all the things, whatever the data or whatever the information which are given by you, it will be secured. So the complete security measurements has been taken care by the system. Low transaction expenses. So electronic payment refers to the process of transaction on a digitized way. It doesn't require human intervention. The expenses that occur in paperless transactions are very less. Next is speedy transactions. It is very fast way of operating system and it resolves the problems which are faced by the people in traditional payments. EPF transactions are processed in just a click. It provides users an easy way to perform their transactions. Providing real-time access. It facilitates users to access the funds which are deposited in the accounts as per their requirement. Some of the methods which are used by the users to spend according to their needs are e-checks, e-cash and store value cards. On the other hand, methods adopted by traditional payment system doesn't allow using funds anytime, anyway, anywhere according to their will. So these are the basic concepts of EPS, electronic payment system. Why? Because advantage that it is globally accepted and it enhances the security. Transaction expenses will be very low and transactions will be performed a bit fast and they will provide real time access to the customers. So this is about EPS. Why they have designed this EPS? What are the reasons? So here we have list of reasons. Privacy and confidentiality will be there. Security and protection. Next, initiative interfaces, database integration, network bankers, cost assigning and standards. So these are the basic points of electronic payment system. Privacy and confidentiality. It must be ensured or maintained by every EPS system. Every user must be assured that details of the transactions are kept confidential. Just now what I said. Security and protection. Different security techniques must be embedded within the system so that whatever the data or information given by the user, they will be kept with a confidential. Okay. Next, intuitive interface. This electronic payment system should be developed using a convenient and easy to use interface. So everyone can access it. There is no need of any proper knowledge. So even without a knowledge, basic knowledge, even with a basic knowledge, everyone can operate these interfaces. Database integration. It is very important and integrate different databases that store various accounts associated with a customer. So this customer related information, everything to be stored in the database, whatever the orders we have read and what are the places, order number, customer ID, all the details will be stored in the database, and the database should be integrated with the EPS system. Network bankers. A broker is an essentially required while designing in a payment system. Broker is the one who is responsible for clearing conflicts and performing financial operations electronically. So these are network bankers. So every bank will be worked as a broker in between the customer and the client, customer and mercantile. So whenever the customer has paid some amount through online, so these bankers will check whether that available amount is available in that account or not. If it is available, they will transfer that amount from one account to another account. Cost assigning. How to price the services offered by electronic payment system is of major concern while designing payment systems. For example, it is necessary to use any subscriber to motivate the customer for changing their form of payment, since they consume more resources that waste a lot of money. So without subsidies, it is impossible for any payment. So if you don't have any discounts in that way only, in very online payment sites they will provide. If you use Axis card, you will get 10% discount. HSBC card 20% discount. ICICI card 15% discount. So these kind of discounts will be available. Then only they can attract the customers. Obviously, they have to maintain all the standards. So these are the basic points or the reasons why we have to go with EPS system. Here he has explained how credit cards will work. The complete credit card system. I am giving this task to Shravya. You are good at explanation. So you just take this credit card system, how they will execute, how they will perform the operations using credit cards. Question number 19. Okay.
Okay, sir.
19 or 18, I think. 19. Question number 19 to Shravya. And legal issues. Explain briefly about digital currency or electronic cash. సో డిజిటల్ కరెన్సీ గురించి ఎవరు చెప్తారు? ఫరానా నీ గొంతు వచ్చిందా రాలేదా? ఫరానా యా, ఓహో గొంతు వచ్చేసింది అయితే. వెరీ గుడ్ అమ్మా. నీకు గొంతు వచ్చిందా? అదే అడుగుతున్నా, గొంతు వచ్చిందా లేదా అని. అదే నీకు వినిపించాలని చెప్పి నా గొంతు పెంచుతున్నా. ఇంకో ఇక్కడ 21వ క్వశ్చన్ ఒకటి ఉంది కదా, లీగల్ ఇష్యూస్ అంట. నువ్వు లా పాయింట్స్ బాగా తీస్తావు కదా, సో ఈ లీగల్ ఇష్యూస్ నువ్వు తీసుకో. ఇదిగో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ బ్రీఫ్లీ అబౌట్ డిజిటల్ కరెన్సీ. క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 20 చెప్తావా లేకపోతే 21 చెప్తావా? ఏది ఈజీగా ఉంటే అది చెప్తావా? 21 జస్ట్ హాఫ్ పేజే ఉంది. రెండు చెప్పు, 21 రెండు క్వశ్చన్ చెప్పు.
ఒక్కసారి ఆపండి సార్, చూస్తా.
నీదే ఇగో ఇది 21 లీగల్ ఇష్యూస్ అంట.
వద్దొద్దు,
ఏ
దాని పైది కావాలి.
పైదే కావాలా? పైదంటే ఇగో ఇది ఉంది. సరే 20 నువ్వు చెప్పు అయితే. 19 శ్రావ్య, 20 ఫరానా.